Well, welcome to the After Party podcast powered by AFA. My name is Connor Maroney and I'm your host. And today I'm joined by two very special guests. One of Australia's...
Very special.
Very, very special indeed. Australia's probably biggest internet sensations, Marty and Michael. How are you going today?
Yeah, thank you very much, mate. What an introduction.
Nice. Yeah. Nice to meet you too, mate.
Mate, always a good time. Rightio. Well, boys, we were pretty much just talking about it before. Haven't had only athletes on the podcast so far.
Well,
he was the first one. I know, and that's what,
sort of like athletes.
Yeah, scientific athletes.
Scientific athletes, that's the description. And then I brought it up because we were just sort of notching over it then. You guys had your series where you were linking up with sports stars and trying to figure out exactly which sport was the toughest.
Yeah.
How was that whole process? How long did it take?
Probably after we filmed 3 episodes, we were just like, what have we done? It was so... We just, it was like, we were so scared. Like, it's a lot of them are just terrifying. Like, and looking back at them, like, you always think, God, I wish we went harder here, harder there, because it looks like shit. But during the time, it's freaking terrifying.
Oh, yeah, and usually fucking the shit shots are the ones that fucking hurt the most.
Yeah.
What do you reckon was the worst? I know you boys, did Sire fucking break your ribs?
Yep.
So rugby union was up there, and especially because Michael had to run it straight first.
Yep.
Broke his rib, and then it was my turn. So you can see in the video, I fully just bitch out hard. But
mate, because he's one of the hardest hitters in general, let alone on a fucking normal bloke.
Yeah, we only found that out halfway through filming as well. We're everyone's like, oh, Say's known for just fucking smashing dudes.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Shit.
Yeah, he's scary, very friendly dude.
Oh, so nice.
Once you see him running at you, it's a whole different story.
And you wouldn't think looking at him, if you just see him walking down the street, you're like, oh yeah, he's a big guy, but it just just look like it might hurt a bit. But man, when he gets going and he's technique and stuff, it's truly horrific.
Drives India.
Yeah. He can do the fucking splits as well.
Really?
Yeah, that's how fucking flexible the man is.
It's like a wombat.
The fucking hardest hitting wombat there is.
That was probably the most terrifying though for me.
You reckon?
All in all, tackling, I don't know how you guys have done it. I did one season of NRL when I was a kid, and I was the kid that always threw the ball before he got tackled.
Yeah.
I'll get pegged with things or rip toenails off or whatever, but I just can't deal with
a full-on collision.
I think it's because we're tall but also thin, so when we get hit, it's we get
bones
snapped.
break.
That is a footy dream to have to tackle that. Just have something fold over you.
Big string bean to wrap around.
Doesn't change you guys perception at all. Obviously the majority of it's just a laugh, but has it low-key changed your fucking perception of the games and shit when you watch it now?
Yeah. Well, I've always known it's terrifying. Hence why I only did one season.
Yeah.
I don't know how. If you think about it, you do a match and then you get tackled that many times. You've got to have injuries.
Oh yeah, you feel like pure shit.
Yeah,
all the fucking time.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't.
Because they're not going easy on you. They want to hurt you.
And there's 15 of them.
Yeah, and we did it with some of the guys Mundine for the boxing episode, obviously, and he's obviously past his prime. But still, it was still a bit terrifying in there. So I can't imagine, fighting dudes that are the best in the country in the world. That would just be fuck that.
He was really, you could tell he didn't want to hurt us.
A lot of them,
Mundane.
Yeah,
a lot of them. I'm pretty sure most of them were being nice.
I think Hardman probably would have ripped into you guys a bit. Isaac Hardman.
Yeah, well, we did a video with him years ago, back before we were even getting paid.
When he was doing MMA and stuff before boxing.
And that was back, ages ago when he was still doing MMA, and he fully just beat the shit out of us. I'm pretty sure he broke your rib there too. We just never went to the hospital.
Yeah. That was about a month or 5 weeks where I just couldn't cough, sneeze. So that's normally the sign of a broken rib.
Yeah, no, those fighters are fucked, eh? Every time I've interviewed one of them since, it's they're all happy-go-lucky and shit until you start talking about the next cunt they're going to fight. Yeah. And then they're I'm going to kill him.
Yeah, well, Isaac in particular, God, just loves...
He's a weapon.
Yeah.
Loves violence.
And we go to we go do a boxing PT once a week, and we go to the gym where he trains.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're all just in awe of him. He's just a nutcase.
Yeah, he is a fucking nutcase. Yeah. Well, boys, we'll move it on along a little bit there. So we'll bring it back to the beginning. So when did you boys because every time I bring you guys up, because obviously like the last week when everyone's asking like who's next, I'm like Marty and Michael. Every fucking bloke in Brisbane has a story. Someone was like, oh, I used to bloody pick me up in an Uber. Other guys like, oh, I fucking did this and that, and I'm like, what the fuck have these guys been doing before I saw them on fucking the internet and whatnot? So like, how long did it really kind of take before you guys came together and at least initiated and started it?
Yeah, we've been around. Hey, we've been doing
6 years. Have we been making videos?
Yeah, something like that. It's just I was like 25, so yeah, like 6-7 years now. And to begin with, like, yeah, when we decided to start having a crack at making videos, like we were both tennis coaches still. I had my own coaching business, but I knew I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. So started making vids on the sides, and you know, of course, they all did shit.
Yeah.
And for 4 years, like nothing. It was literally, yeah, the videos would get no views, and it was just us in our spare time. We'd film, and then the videos started. Some of the people I was coaching started seeing the videos, and it was so cringe because it's like I'm coaching like, you know, business execs and lawyers and shit like that, and they're trusting me with their kids as well. And they see me doing all this fucked up shit. So I started getting real cringe. So I literally had to dumb down the coaching and pretty much just stop coaching. Went to then we started Uber driving because it's so flexible. You can just drive whenever you want and make money. So we just work in and around our filming. And yeah, like we just got into a lot of debt, made a lot of dumb decisions, and it finally ended 2018. Well, started 2018. We started the Marty and Michael stuff, and then it started like taking off a bit.
So what were the videos beforehand?
It was just
we sort of did like a lot of public stuff. We'd go out and sort of mess with people at unis. We got a lifetime ban from
all unis in
Queensland. But like then, like we started to sort of
a couple of like comedy sketches to begin with, and then we moved to the live streams, and that's where it's all, because like when we started making videos, it was all just we'll just go out and be like pranksters or whatever. It was never the self-mutilation shit. Michael loves that shit. Like he's obsessed with like jackass and dudes and shit. So we started doing live streams, like, oh, what should we do for the live streams? And then, you know, Michael suggested we should maybe like do shit to each other, like physically hurt each other. And it started it was always so funny hurting Michael. So that just started going well then. And then, so that's just the so now we just infused everything together, like, you know, social experiments, weird science videos, fucking pain videos, and it's just all sort of morphed into one sick ball.
It's gross.
And you mentioned like, I guess like around 2018 and whatnot as well, there's not like a huge amount of, I guess, blokes doing anything in that realm of like social media and whatnot at the time. Now it's a little bit, you see more and more. Was there anybody at all that like kind of had the blueprint at the time that you guys were looking at and shit? Like I guess you got your like Jackson O'Doherty, what's the other name? Yeah,
well, we started hanging out with the boys, Jackson and Sharmy and stuff, just, you know, meeting them because we were also making similar videos, like prank videos and stuff. And then, just sort of, learning the way that they make the videos. It was very like edited. I know it seems real basic and stuff, but each videos are edited for each platform. Facebook, back when we were making Facebook videos, it was all really short attention span. So if it wasn't like a visually engaging video within the first 10 seconds, people just scroll on. And our videos were like, we had no idea how to edit them for each platform. So we sort of learned that, and that definitely helped heaps.
Yeah, man, I could imagine. That's the fucking worst part about.
Props to Jackson too. He helped us out heaps with the sharing. Like,
he did help us out early on.
He boosted us up. It would have taken so much longer, but he supported us. He's been a great friend.
And Sharmy helped out.
Sharmy helped out. So it definitely increased it, like made it go fast.
And did it help also, like seeing them, like you're good mates with them as well now, but even at the time, like they're successful at the time and whatnot, did it kind of give you that extra drive to be like, it's actually fucking, I can actually do it. It's not just
doable.
Some fucking
and they were making, you know, a really decent living out of it too. So we're like, that's the goal. You know? And because we were still, you know, we'd hang out with them, we'd film a bit, and then we'd have to go on friggin' Uber for 16 hours straight.
I think I did 10,500 trips all in all with Uber.
Holy fuck.
He was even he made the paper because he was one of the highest rated Uber drivers. My rating was so shit because my aircon never worked. So people would get in the car and I didn't want to tell them that the aircon doesn't work. So I just have all 4 windows down and then they'd be like, oh, you know, we put the windows up and aircon on? And whenever they said that, I just knew it was going to be a shit rating because everyone would just start sweating. And I put the aircon on, but it was just blowing out hot air. It's so cringy.
Someone breathing on you.
Yeah, it's awkward situations.
Yeah, I can imagine. It'd be so cooked fucking driving Uber, especially 10,000 trips. I'm sure there's been a couple of cooked ones in the mix.
So many weird situations. Like, it's like a good way to make yourself feel better because you see how many, there are some fucked people. Like, we are fucked. But, man, some of the, stories you hear of people in the back or arguments,
arguments are so good. Yes, you just sit there in silence, you got a half-hour trip, dropping these 2 drunk people home, and it's just a couple having the most hilarious argument about
domestic.
So good. And you just get, I think there was, they didn't have sex, but they were doing something.
And people would give us drugs all the time. Give us some Ritalin to help us go for an extra 10 hours.
Yeah,
all sorts of cool shit.
Yeah, it was definitely, it's exciting because every trip was different because you just, it's a different person.
Different person.
So it is I enjoyed that for the people side of it, the people, you get to talk to so many different people and stuff. It was a very interesting job, but.
Wouldn't do it now though because there's so many.
Yeah,
there's so many drivers.
You guys were in the hotspot of it.
Yeah, well, we were doing it when it was illegal. Still, if you get pulled over, you got fined shitloads of money. But
would pay it,
but because there were so few drivers, you could earn so much more. Now it's so saturated.
Peanuts.
Yeah, it's fuck all.
Yeah. And
shit.
they really, they don't help them out either.
Yeah, Uber doesn't give a fuck about the driver.
What did the same sort of thing happen at the tennis coaching? Were people starting to recognise you more and more as trips went on?
Yeah, tennis coaching became no-go just because the parents of the kids you coach are just what the fuck.
and they might have been all right with it, but it was just too cringy.
And was that happening at Uber as well? Did you start to kind of
towards the end,
gauge people?
Yeah,
towards the end.
Yeah, I've seen your vids. It's it's at the beginning. It's really exciting, especially when you're on a small page. Holy shit, you've seen it.
Yeah.
So it definitely towards the end started to get more and more. But as we sort of monetized Facebook, then we didn't have to Uber anymore, and here we are.
Yeah. And boys, when you started, because I can imagine when you're 25, 26 sort of, and you're starting to do this whole shit, the conversation with parents and other people and stuff must all I've been thinking all week is that is going to be the most fucking grim conversation.
Oh man,
because it's sort of at the point where you're finishing uni and starting your actual shit and stuff. Everyone's now you guys are laughing, but at the start it would have been the other way. Everyone's going oh fuck, what are they doing?
That was probably that's probably up there with the worst part of it is the people that just roll their eyes and oh yeah, good on you. Just have. No one thinks that it's possible to make a living just being dickheads.
For sure. And what were those initial sort of conversations with the parents and stuff? Were they just fucking not on board at all?
Yeah, mum was just obviously she's older as well, doesn't understand how the hell you can make money from it. So she was just like, what are you doing? Just go back to uni. And I'd promised her that if I wasn't making money from social media by the time I was 30, I was going to have to go back to uni. But I probably wouldn't have anyway. But yeah. And even mates and stuff like that, a lot of people are just are you sure this is because we were getting more and more in debt as well. Michael was living in one of our mates' shed, rent free, just to save a bit of cash at the end. So yeah, it was probably another 2 years of nothing. It probably would have we probably have had to make some hard decisions, I reckon.
Yeah, my folks were again just confused. They don't understand it.
Didn't know what the fuck is going on.
But they were still supportive of it. They weren't happy about it, especially when they see some of the live streams.
That's the thing, the content's a lot different. It's not you're fucking trying to sing or something. You guys kicking each other in the dick. And
they're ex-police officers, so they're quite conservative and
holy fuck, really?
People. Yeah. So they weren't too impressed, but again, once they saw that I was 100% in on it, they're all right, and now here we are. They're all right, well done.
Yeah, brilliant. And the style of it all as well. I mean, it is like pretty aggressive and out there, which is awesome. I get around that hard. You guys were mentioning blokes like Jackass, Dudesons and all that before. I saw recently you guys had like a promotional sort of deal with them when you guys launched the trailer. And for anyone that hasn't watched it, it was so close to just being so fucked. So I watched you guys' podcast afterwards and you guys sort of mentioned, you were like, we did not even think that could go as horribly wrong as it fucking did, or almost did rather.
Yeah. I had a feeling, hence why I jumped off at the top, but like of the hill, like, because as soon as it swung around, I was like, man, it was literally like I reckon about this far away.
It's so close to it. Yeah,
that's it. If that hits you in the head,
that was something.
Or even if it flips, or they're fucking
that's
big.
What I was worried about.
We were worried about it flipping.
Yeah, I was thinking something bad might happen, but I hadn't anticipated it spinning around.
Yeah.
I thought it might like flip on top of us or something, but not spin into the skull.
So how did that like initial sort of contacting? Because I could imagine like for you boys, they're almost like the peak. They're on the Mount Rushmore of like fucked up videos. And like when you guys did get contacted from them, like was that a big surprise to you guys? What was that sort of relationship?
Yeah, so Paramount Pictures, they're the ones who, so they're producing the movie. So so they reach out because they're in charge of the marketing as well. So they reached out to us and were like, do you guys want to do some promo for Jackass? Obviously, because our demographic is like the Jackass demographic as well. So we agreed to that, and now they so that was just a little one there, the first bit of promo we did, and now they want us to do another one for the release of the actual movie.
Yeah, okay, hectic. That's awesome.
So
that's going to G you guys up.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, and one of the guys in Jackass, Zackass, we met him when we went to LA as well. So he's like in Jackass now. So it's cool to have like that, to know someone who's in Jackass.
Actually in it. Yeah.
He's a legend too. Funny guy.
Yeah, he does. Like, he's the one that the big fat fella that like flies into cactuses and shit.
Funny, funny guy too.
And so, like, with guys even like that, I guess, like Zackass and stuff, did it take time for you guys to kind of like build up that callus in your brain of going through all this cook shit? Because, I mean, immediately, as you said, like before, like in footy, you're the guy to chuck the ball out before you get hit, and then you're doing something like throwing yourself down a fucking hill in a trailer. Was it like gradual, you're just going like step by step by step, or have you guys always had that little bit of like psycho mentality in the head?
I think, the early on, like getting fucked up before we filmed helped. It was sort of kills the risk analysis, but then now, we don't get fucked up before filming anymore, but it's sort of like the more you do shit, the more you can assess how risky it is.
Yeah.
So you sort of get a better idea of how dangerous what you're doing is. And a lot of the stuff we do, we've done heaps of times, so we know there's a good chance we'll be okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just trial and error over and over again doing this sort of shit.
But it is. It's all in your head. Like alcohol would help, but if you build it up to think it's going to be really bad, then
and just
probably going to be bad.
That's worse.
Yeah,
like, you're just waiting to get hit or
rip
whatever.
the band-aid off.
Yeah. But like once you sort of get it done, you realize, it's not too bad, because the body can take so much. Like, yeah, it's surprising. Like,
it's like we can't die.
Yeah, it's impossible.
One video at a time, awaiting death. And have there been many of those sort of times, or anyone's like off the memory where like it's similar to the trailer where you're like, oh shit, we should have definitely thought about that for an extra 10 minutes before we started?
100%. Yeah, there's always shit you look back on and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, one
that
time.
Gone.
It wasn't, I guess it's not life-threatening, but it's just scary, because one time we super glued all of these thumbtacks to a soccer ball. And so it was completely covered, and then we'd kick the soccer ball into each other. And the first one, I think, grazed my leg, so it just sort of cut a bit. And then as soon as Marty went up, I hit it straight into his hand, and one of the tacks had ripped off into his skin.
Oh, fuck.
A lump in between his knuckles.
Yeah, so we'd been live for usually we go live for half an hour during these live. We'd been live for maybe 5 minutes, and one of the thumbtacks just got lodged into my hand and I couldn't pull it out, so we had to stop the live stream. But we realized after, thank God, because the ball, it had 1,000 thumbtacks on, just covered in thumbtacks, and it was so heavy, the ball, so whenever it hit you, it just
it wasn't like a soccer ball. It was
it would
getting
just
punched.
rip your flesh off, it would just tear to pieces. So we're just thank God that ended early, because that probably could have done some damage.
Soccer balls a bit too, tennis balls are doable, and squash balls we've done, but soccer balls is a bit too much.
Yeah, it's just a round death weapon.
Death ball, yeah. Because like I guess when you got like places like Jackass and like all these other things, they're also surrounded by like medical crews and like an actual film crew. You boys are like, if it fucks up, like it's seriously fucked.
Yeah,
have there been many hospital trips?
Oh, there's been a few, but none that we've ever been like.
Oh fuck yeah, it's like stitches and shit.
But we've definitely gone like the one time I got hit in the eye, direct hit with an apple, and like, that was pretty scary because I couldn't really see for a few minutes. And just fully stunned my whole face. Like I had numb parts to my face for months.
So knocking out fucking nerves and shit in the face.
It stuns the nerves apparently. And then they had to do this test on my eye in hospital where it's like this little ball comes out and then just touches your eyeball. Oh. It flicks it.
Fuck that.
But it's so fast that you can't like catch it with a blink. So it just flicks it to like check the pressure behind your eye to see if there's something wrong.
Yeah.
And that was so fucking gross. Just seeing him with this little gun, just poking my eye with this thing. I wasn't too bad.
Just freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, that was bad because like you don't want to lose an eye just over a video.
Over a fucking
and
apple.
The video did so shit too. It was like how to ruin a picnic. It was just like mates pegging apples at us while we were like dressed at a fancy picnic.
And you guys mentioned before, like you've done trips out to LA and stuff, and it seems like it's the sort of move to make, like once you start popping off in Australia and stuff. Has there been any, like, I guess all the COVID shit's probably avoided that, but have you guys been keen to kind of like jump over and get into that like American audience a bit more? Yeah,
we have a pretty big American following actually, especially on Facebook. It's like way more American than Australian. But I think we were a bit too small the first time we went there. It was a bit like everyone was sort of like, oh yeah, whatever. And because no one in America, no one gives a shit about Facebook. Like it's fucking Instagram, TikTok. And YouTube and TikTok. Yeah, not like Facebook, everyone's just like shrugs. Even though Facebook, you can make by far the most revenue. It's like, it's so shocking that they don't know. Well, it almost seems like all the Aussies have like the most following on Facebook. Like you look at Jackson, Sharma, like all those guys, it's up in the top millions. Like we make way more from before the reach restrictions. Would make far more from Facebook than YouTube. So but we definitely want to go back and just see all the people we met over there and just see what happens. It's just good to get out there and get around other people that are doing what you're doing. The same There's not thing. Many in Australia.
Out there.
Yeah, is it pretty wild as well? Like, could you get stuck out there pretty bad?
Nights like out. I remember. I think we went to the Team 10 house.
Oh yeah. Oh what? Were they all there?
Oh, there was some of them there. Not Jake Paul wasn't there, but a couple of them were there and met them. But yeah, the house is just like, it's fucking massive. It's like, and they're all fucking probably 18 at the time as well. Exactly. Yeah, they're all so young, man, and it's just like crazy to think how rich they are. And how young they are.
It was an impressive house.
When you start to meet like people like that over there, like obviously it wasn't Jake Paul, but like that sort of crowd and that vibe, like do you start kind of, because you guys seem like pretty normal like Aussie blokes, is there any times where you're like around these guys, like not anyone in particular, but where you're just sort of like, fuck me, these guys are fucked, like just so fake and bullshit.
Dude, that's it, because there's like everyone like values different shit over there. Like if you're not wearing like if we, because Michael walks around without shoes on. So if we were like walking around, dress just casually, people would be like you literally don't get let into places. Because you're not wearing friggin' designer clothes and shit. So I never got any of that. It's a big culture difference, I think. But yeah, so there were definitely some moments where it's like, why do you care so much about that sort of shit? Yeah,
it's different sort of culture there. But yeah, like everyone was pretty relaxed. We've only...
And like that, everyone's so obsessed with having like followers over there is literally like a currency. Yeah, you can show it in cafes and stuff, and they'll give you like free shit and stuff. So weird. I feel too cringy to do that.
Doing that.
Yeah, oh hey, look at this. Give us a free meal.
Yeah, so strange because I guess not everyone's like that over there, but like I guess in that creator circle it could get a bit iffy at times.
Yeah, definitely.
But it would be nice, I guess, like going back to mates and stuff, like being around people that are doing it all the time. I mean, when you're here, you obviously like working and whatnot, doing this stuff in Brizzy and whatnot, but like all your mates are still working full time and everything like that. Was that a bit of a shift as well? Because I feel like in Australia, like people just don't get around it as much. There's like a lot more tall poppy syndrome. Like if you're fucking like doing videos and shit, people immediately go like, oh fuck that, like I don't even want to listen to it or watch it or whatever. Whereas if it's an American or whatever, they're instantly like on it. Did you find that sort of a bit of a battle with like getting people involved in Australia, or at least getting people to watch it?
Our group of mates we've got a really good group of mates. So our mates in particular have always been super supportive and always helped out wherever they can. But yeah, tall poppy thing in Australia, I don't get that hate. It's like,
people like hate to see like people risk it, I feel, and like do some 100%. Sort of.
It's like early on when you first start, everyone was really supportive, like, oh yeah, go for it, go. And then a couple of years of doing it and not getting anywhere, you just stop hearing from people.
Yeah, they're like,
and you
still going, eh?
Yeah. And then it just turns from like support into like, what the fuck are these guys doing? And then you make it, and then all of a sudden they're like messaging, oh hey, I've started a new business, can I have a shout out? And like it's just expecting
fuck off,
like people just expect shout outs. Like, they straight up ask you. It's like, wow.
Just give it to me. It's like, no, dude, you know how long it took to get to this shit.
Like, people's skills are just not there. They don't get it. Like,
oh, that sucks. And you boys were living together for a while, like during it now. Are you still living together or?
No, not anymore. When we first started to save money, we were making videos with two other guys as well. So we lived in a shitty little townhouse in Strathpine, a 2-bedroom townhouse. Me and Michael, we had a double mattress on the floor in one of the bedrooms, and so it would be me, Michael, and Bosley, my 40-kilo dog, would sleep on that mattress. I think for like a year we lived there, and the other two dudes would sleep.
Slept in a room there, like.
Yeah, and then we moved to another house, and again had to share a room for a year just to save money on rent and stuff. So, but then when we were living together when Facebook got monetized, and then like 5 months after that or something, I just moved out with my now fiance.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And like living with each other, like that's obviously I'd say like the biggest question when looking at you guys, like do your stuff. Surely there's got to be times where you're like, I want to fucking kill him right now, like. Like when you guys aren't like now, at least it all has like a good purpose. Like you've sort of made it, and it's everything kind of like has a bit more value to it now. But when you guys are starting out and you do like some video where you really fuck each other up, and then you get no views on it and stuff as well, surely tensions could have risen a little bit in the house. Or has there always been like a content is king?
Well, I think with us,
pretty relaxed. Like,
and also like we literally used to do this sort of shit growing up in high school.
Anyway, yeah.
So it was just like it's just normal to do that sort of shit constantly.
It's more like the shit off camera that gets annoying. Like every time you walk past him, it'll tickle you or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit that it's just
just shit you don't see. But like you're just used to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like you sort of have to be if it's not sustainable doing what we do, then you probably shouldn't be doing it, because it would 100% rub you up. And there are days when it's like, fuck's sake, and you sort of have to you're annoyed, but someone's filming you, so you sort of yeah, good one, man. So there are moments where it's like fuck off, but it's never enough to
actually like
start an argument or something.
Yeah, definitely. And I saw you guys like had a post recently where it was sort of on the same subject, where you guys basically had like your line basically of how far you can go, and yours is to not fuck with your hair, is it?
Yeah, well, it was.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, but now he now he loves that hairstyle. Like that's how short it was when I fucked with him and cut it all off with a knife. Yeah, and now he likes.
He showed me the light.
And now he gets it cut like that, and like I'm always like, don't get it cut. Let's let me do something to it.
Every 6 months we've got a new fucking ripping your hair out video. Yeah. And it wasn't just shit like that like you just like fuck it. One thing is this, just like don't fuck with my hair.
Yeah, because it's just like
such a fuck around.
So long to grow, and anyone with long hair understands. Like,
yeah,
it's not
I fucking
many dudes
don't.
that do have long. But like, it takes a while to get it long, and. Yeah, like Marty doesn't. I think I did the wax on your head.
Yeah.
So like, what's your rule? I don't know.
Don't fuck with Bosley. Well, I saw that. What was the initial fucking don't fuck with my dog? Was there any previous fucking with the dog?
No, I just had to sort of plant a flag there to make sure that Bosley didn't get no collateral damage ended up, because I was always worried when shit was happening to me, like Bosley was around, something could have very easily happened to him too. So I was just like, leave Bosley out of it.
Kill Bosley prank.
You boys have also popped, it looks like, a fair bit of money into your videos as well, stuff like the billboards and all that. Like, was it tough kind of like getting up to that point of like where you can really like throw?
Thing he's ever done.
Was that one of the shittest things you fucking done?
Waste of money.
That was such a waste of money. It was.
It's the most cooked photo as well. Like, it almost didn't even like you couldn't even tell it was him.
It's weird. It looks like Alien. Like,
yeah, look, I did. That was. I probably regret that a little bit, and especially because, I think the video had been out for a week and then the COVID lockdown started. So it's
no one's on the fucking roads.
Yeah, so no one is seeing the billboards. And it's like, you just spent a lot of money for a month of having him on the billboard. So it was like, it was a pretty big waste. But that was back when we didn't have all these reach restrictions and stuff, and we were like, Facebook money was coming in nice and thick. But now it's like, dried up a fair bit.
Did COVID fuck with you guys a bit? Like,
just because we can't film the shit that we want to film, and so it did, but not as bad as definitely not complaining. We had it pretty good compared to so many other people, getting fucked up.
All good. And you mentioned as well that you're banned from every fucking university in the state, and I know there's a couple of stadiums as well on that list. Have there ever been shit with that where you're like, okay, that was awesome, but then you're like, fuck, now I can't go back?
Yeah, like the universities, I don't care. Like, we still go.
As long as
they'll just tell us to leave,
if they see
us.
The stadium,
the Gabba. See, they didn't even.
I think I've been there twice in my life. Like, it's
so it's not that big of a deal.
And the Gabba, after we did the AFL thing, the cops were laughing with us after the guy who owns the
lockup room just over there.
Right there,
Shout out to the Valley Police Station.
the cops and the guy who runs the Gabba or something, he came up to us in the paddy wagon. He's laughing with us. It was, and all the cops said was, obviously you just gave us a move on notice, so we weren't allowed to go back to the Gabba that night. So the next day,
so we can still go there.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. Yeah, there was no ban, zero ban mentions. We got a few hour ban from the Gabba, and that was it. Was
it even hard getting onto the field? Is it fucking pretty easy?
We thought it was going to be pretty hard because the security guard was sitting right where where the walkway is meets the fence. There's security guards sitting there, two of them, and they whenever there's a break in play, they stand up and turn around and face you. So we had to wait for the game to be down the other end, wait for them to sit down, and then I just friggin' went for it, and then they chased me, and then Michael had a free run after.
I waited a little bit, so he sort of started chasing Marty, and then made the jump.
And I
got banned from. Because we live near Chermside Shopping Centre, and it's like a massive shopping centre.
Yeah, Westfield's fucking jungle.
To have near you. And we got banned there for 6 months.
And that was really inconvenient. So we don't film there anymore because we need that place.
LA. We keep that
that's the one place.
The security will come up, a lot of them are friendly. They're not all.
But they've kind of got a fucking one eye on you.
And they'll let us know too.
You guys aren't up to anything. We're like, nah.
Do you kind of have more fun in those sort of stadium settings where I guess normally you have to wait for the reaction after you posted it and whatnot? Is it fun kind of when you've got 30,000 cunts going nuts?
I was so nervous. Yeah, I didn't want to do it. This is all him. I was so scared of doing it. But once you're out in the field, that rush kicks in.
Because the worst thing as well that could happen is the whole Andrew Simon situation and just a fucking level you out.
Yeah, literally spoke about that. Yeah, we said we'll stay away from the players. We just wanted to kick and get out of there. But obviously it was a bit ambitious to think that we weren't going to affect the game.
Yeah. Did anyone have any words to you? Or probably the players fucking would have seen you and be like, I know them.
We got lectured by this dickhead radio host in Adelaide or something. Right, yeah. I wish we knew his name.
Well, it's because we hadn't posted the video yet, and then the media got a hold of it and said
because you guys were wearing all your fucking tags and all that as well.
So the media got a hold of it and were just saying that we purposely went out to disrupt the game. So that was the first story that came out. So obviously, if people read that, it's wankers, just doing it for attention, which we sort of are, but we wanted just to get a funny video, how to kick a goal at the AFL Grand Final. That was our goal. We just wanted a good piece of content. So then, it was terrifying in lockup. Michael's like, because I had no idea the ball was right behind me. I had no idea that we'd stop the game. So Michael's like, oh, dude, the ball was like 10 meters from you. And I was like, bullshit. It was 100 meters away when I jumped on the field. Yeah. Like, I was like, there's no way they're going to get it down that end in like 30 seconds. But yeah, I found out that they'd stopped it. So yeah, I was fucking shitting myself thinking, fuck, I've ruined our careers here.
Yeah. Ruined the fucking game.
It's sort of...
And what was there, some Adelaide radio host up your ass about it?
Yeah, he just sort of went off at us, and it was early in the morning. It was just like copying a lecture from a parent. It's like, yeah, bloody flogs, this and that.
Why'd you even get us the fuck on?
We just sort of like, oh, sorry, dude, sorry you feel like that. But then we went on another radio show, and Triple M, I think.
I forget who it was.
Triple M, they were legends. Like they fully
like Marto and shit.
What our sort of angle for coming.
Yeah.
So, and so it's one extreme to the other. I guess you either love it or hate it.
It was mostly good like even the YouTube videos like 16k thumbs up and 1k thumbs down. So it sort of gives you an idea.
A good idea of like how much of a cunt you're being. Yeah.
So, and that's by far our most disliked video. So yeah, it was.
Oh, that's the most disliked one, is it?
Yeah.
Just a bunch of salty AFL fans.
But like it's you get the good with it, bad. Like it's most people just loved it, and then the other a small portion of people just absolutely hated it. So, it was alright, yeah.
And you guys are always changing up your content. It's always different. Like, how much thought are you guys going into stuff now? Like, you must be getting close to like running out of shit at times. Like,
yeah, well, especially the prank shit, because it's like it's like now what we'll try and, because we aim to get one social media video out for all of our platforms, at least one a week, and we manage to do that. But now, because like that's why we always go to try and find different types of content, because it's hard to keep fucking with each other week after week, and like it's like we've done everything now, and it's starting to get really like we know what's going to happen. I come over to Michael's house. It's hard to plan shit now, so that's getting harder and harder. So yeah, that's why we sort of try and mix it up, do different types of content, because otherwise it's just fucking we can
gets tired.
And after a while it's like we know we have to get a video out, so I was like, I know that Michael's trying to fuck with me, so it makes it much harder for him to fuck with me.
Yeah, I can imagine that, hey, because I mean, half the time you guys, or at least one of you guys, are out of the loop. Do you kind of have that sense now of like, I know this cunt's coming? Like,
well, it's like, I know that we have to film something within this time frame, so unless we have something organised, like a science experiment or something like that, I know he's probably thinking, fuck, how can I fuck with him? And he knows that I'm thinking, how can I fuck with him? So it's like,
like there's so many rules with social media, man. Like if you do something, like if you swear, obviously they'll demonetize your video too. But like if you do something too graphic or considered too graphic via their standards, then you get reach restrictions like we have now.
Boring now.
And like it's like if you can't do anything that's like not crazy but so risky, exciting, then it's not worth watching a lot of the time. So hence we knew that censorship and it was just going to get worse. So basically we had to start our website just so we can post the sort of content that we want to post.
Yeah, when we first started making pranks, like I'd put thumbtacks out next to his bed and he'd stand on thumbtack, like all sorts of, like we'd break pool cues over each other.
Yep.
Now, if we did that, the video would get deleted and we'd have like months of
that fucking strict now.
So it gets a bit boring filming that sort of shit too now. So yeah, we started the website just so we don't have to rely on social media, because it's just too, like, some random Facebook employee sees a video, oh no, that's too graphic, boom, demonetized, reach restriction, see ya, there goes your income for the next 6 months.
Yeah, oh fuck yeah, just being like governed by these guys that are just so fucking big, so and they don't give a shit either.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we got our own sort of baby that we make the rules with. It's much more,
we can just post whatever we want, and it's so much more fun filming, because we don't have to we don't have to think, oh, don't swear, don't say this, you can't say that. It's just a massive website full of people who have the exact same sense of humor.
Yeah, for sure. So if people want to watch your shit, they're coming to you, so you can do whatever you want.
Exactly.
And you guys started up a podcast recently, Fully Actual, that's right?
Yeah, third season. Yeah. But yeah, we it was sort of just like the first season was just we just get fucked up and then just talk shit, and now it's just sort of it's fun now. It's like it's turned into like a little like, community.
Smoke a little bit of weed and then do it, and it's just like we get the giggles. And you've probably if you've seen one.
Yeah, I have seen them. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it's fun. Like
do prank call and shit.
And like the fans that are into that. Like they really know us because like it's cool seeing their comments and the amount of engagement that you get with it because it's different to a video you just scroll on Facebook.
For sure, it's longer format. I think people do start to enjoy that a lot more. Like even for example, like someone like Logan Paul, for instance, like his views, everything go up once they kind of get to know you a little bit better and like see what sort of bloke you are. With the website there, is that like a subscription base or is
yeah so people sign up and then we pretty much get one like 20 to half an hour episode a week of just like we just pretty much vlog our entire week and then just film like a science experiment or something that we know is just way too fucked up to put on social media.
It's awesome how much fucking better the conversation starts flowing when you're a bit pissed as well. Me and my mate, we started one last week. We haven't put it out yet because it's just so fucked. But we called it 6 beers deep when we started, when we're 6 beers deep, and we were like, and he'd never done anything before like it, so like he was a bit nervous, and like I looked down like 20 minutes in, I'm like, mate, you've had 12 fucking beers. And we're literally just both like, he's vomiting, we knock everything over, it's fucked. But that's the problem as well, is like he's fucking trying to be a pilot. So we're like, I'm pretty happy now to just ruin my reputation, but I don't know about him. But yeah, well, hopefully that fucking comes out. It's good fun. And I've seen as well, you boys have like a PO box system with that there, which I'm sure like to a normal like the majority of creators, I guess that you probably get normal shit like gifts and stuff like that, but your guys have like a bit more of a twisted fan base. Tell me how that started up and like some of the more crooked stuff you've got.
Man. We've been sent human shit, piss, cum,
fingernails, like skin
from the foot,
cum,
like
piss,
weird, a mouse's stomach.
But it all started. It all started in the first season of the podcast. We just get. It was just meant to be a segment, like and we purposely
like an unboxing sort of shit.
Yeah, we'd be like, we'll open everything live on the podcast. Just send us real fucked up shit. Like we were purposely asking for it. Probably regret that a little bit now because now it's just literally turned into who can send us the most fucked shit. So it's terrifying opening all the crap live on the podcast because you just literally never know what you're gonna get.
Fuck. What are you guys doing when it is the fucking like cum and shit and stuff?
We just leave it there.
We put everything on like the table.
Just let it dry.
So like,
come an ornament.
Turn it into like a human or something.
Nice little cum poo sculpture.
Everything we get sent, I keep. Like obviously the shit we threw out and stuff like that, but
kept the cum.
It's cool just all those letters that you get, and some people send some like generally really cool stuff. Like we got $300 worth in gift vouchers, one for Dan Murphy's, one for EB, and one for Supermarket. Like it's like, man,
fucking nice.
Like that's such a nice thing to do.
Yeah, people just
$300 in gift cards, like as well as like
drugs.
Has any of them been taken? Because I mean, like you always like hear about like artists and stuff, like when they like go to concerts and they're like known for fucking smoking weed, and then they like go and smoke with fans and shit after, and they're like, that wasn't fucking weed.
We're always a bit, because early on, even when we were like, send us fuck shit, we were saying, someone send us anthrax. We want someone to send us anthrax. So we're always worried that there's like that someone's going to send us something fucked that's going to kill us.
Yesterday or last week
a glitter bomb. Yeah, someone sent a fucking glitter bomb,
and we were shitting ourselves to open it. Did Matt end up opening it?
No, I ended up getting it, but facing it away, and it just fucking exploded.
But you'd think with our fans it'd be, instead of glitter, like fingernails or something.
Something just shit. But it must be nice as well, like having, as you said, like guys that are sending in shit like $300 worth of, and these are like probably just fucking hard workers that
exactly. And the letters, man, like you sort of, it really, shows you why to keep doing it. Because some people like just say, I was down in the dumps and I literally, your videos is what brightened my day up.
Yeah, man.
Makes me
We're
laugh
saving
again.
lives.
Yeah. So like that helps. Like when you see that, like it's like, oh man, it's making a difference for someone.
For sure, it's like a fucking drug almost. Like once people start watching your shit, and like it becomes routine to watch you guys. Yeah, and that I'm sure has definitely grown a lot. Like now walking around and whatnot, you got starting to get noticed a bit more and all that.
Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, well, after the AFL thing, that was definitely when it was the craziest. But like we walk around, we notice people staring and stuff all the time.
It's so funny because you go through like phases depending on the video with people yelling out stuff at you. Oh, you're the smoker dude back when he was fucking
spraying, cutting your ciggies and shit like that.
Then like now at the moment where the cat guy is like...
I actually started the toenail guy. You were the toenail guy first, remember? Because he ripped his toenail off. And that was allowed on Facebook back in the day.
Yeah. And like, you guys with the tattoos on your feet. Like, I guess there would have been like such a fucking identity changing over years.
And that's the shit that like where Jackson and Michael Fallon and Shami came in. Because we were like, we were like, they wanted to film with us and like, oh, what can you do? And then I was, I can rip a toenail off. And they're like, bullshit. Film that. Because we had no idea that would go well on social media. So they sort of taught us that all the shit we were doing already.
They kind of guided you in the right way.
Yeah. Like we were able to do all these fucked up shit, but we didn't think that people wanted to see that. So we just never thought to film it and put it online. So they sort of taught us that to film all of the fucked up shit, and then that sort of blew up for us.
Yeah, man, and creating all this shit, like even like this shit, like I love doing this. This is the best part of it, but the worst fucking bit is the worst fucking bit's all the posting and all the fucking being on social media and just like, as you said, putting it on different platforms, commenting, all that sort of crap. Is there a point where you guys, like, because you guys have been doing it so long now and it's ingrained in you, is there any way of, legend, thank you. Is there, do you guys have any ways of just like getting the fuck away from it now and taking breaks and like just getting your head out of it?
Yeah, well, like social media now, like I barely ever use it for personal use anymore. Whenever I'm opening, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube on my phone, it's like work mode.
Yeah.
So now at night, late at night or whatever, I barely ever just touch the phone, just because it's phone equals work now.
Yeah.
But it's it's all right. We just love talking to the fans all the time, and we sort of ingrained a pretty good work ethic compared to some of the other boys when we started. So so I think that it's just something you should do. If you got fans, you talk to them.
That's awesome. And you guys are working with some pretty big companies and stuff now as well. Like, so you guys linked up with Neds recently. I fucking work for Neds actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You worked for them? Or
no, I work for them fucking right now. Yeah, it's fucking really fun. Interesting customers, eh? But yeah, is it sick that you guys are starting to kind of take that next level now and starting to get to work with big companies and stuff and kind of getting those fatter paychecks, I'd imagine?
Yeah. Well, the Neds, like all these brand deals have just sort of started popping up, and we always worry, like, fuck, are we taking too many? Because, you don't
want to water it down.
Yeah, we don't want to just have branded content all the time. But there was a stage where we didn't really have a choice because we weren't, like we mentioned, lots of reach restrictions all the time. So we were just taking brand deals to so we could keep making normal videos. But it's pretty cool. Working we're just like what the fuck? We just did a brand deal for Menulog and Macca's and KO and so it's pretty weird. Like Pepsi and all these other massive brands. So it's it's cool, but you sort of also got to
step it up a little bit and
put the coolness to the side and think, are we doing too many brand deals? Do
you think companies like that and stuff now, they're way more happy to take the risks in a marketing with using somebody like you guys? I would even imagine 5-6 years ago they'd probably be like, I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot fucking pole.
I think social media, how it's evolved now, companies are realizing that TV's dying, but
also just because there's so many more, everything's so censored and babied on social media now, so that companies can work with influencers more, because if we wanted to do the videos that we actually wanted to do with these brand deals, they'd be deleted from social media. So we're sort of forced to rein it in a little bit, which is appropriate for the brands as well. So
yeah, man. Well, boys, do you guys have anything coming up at all? Anything that you can mention, or projects you're working on, or is it pretty much just fucking keep doing what you're doing, get the podcast bigger and fuck each other up.
Yeah, well, yeah. So where the reach restrictions gone on Facebook in like 8 weeks, so we're sort of counting down the days for that.
You guys have restrictions now.
Oh yeah, we had a 12-month reach restriction. So at the beginning of the
So what does that limit you to?
So that basically means that that our videos don't get recommended to anyone that's new. And so, say if you comment on our video, then your friends on Facebook can't see that you've commented. Like that's not going to come up.
Oh, so fucked.
Whereas usually, if someone's friend comments on a video, that might come up in their friend's feed and stuff. So none of our videos get recommended to anyone. It's just our followers. It gets shown to a small portion of our followers every time. So you can't grow.
Yeah,
which sucks. So that's
it's about to be lifted.
And it just cuts your reach. Like,
it makes it so unmotivating too, because you're like, fuck,
like what the AFL video.
That was.
We literally that video is on what 1 million.
A million views, and it's like
engagement
for the amount of engagement it has. Like that, we've had videos get like 50 million views with less engagement than the AFL video.
Yeah,
but it was because we released that, and that was literally like a month after our reach restriction began. So annoying.
Oh, it's so fucked because like these companies, they're reaping reward from you guys, you know what I mean, and people like you, and then just kick you in the dick as soon as you start doing like anything out of their shit.
Yeah, so everyone was like after the AFL, they've made 10 times the money they're going to have to spend on the fines from the ad views. And we're like, no, we've lost a lot of money.
So, the fines, what, $750 each? Like,
it was more
we thought it was going to be like $5,000 each.
Yeah,
that's a bit of a fucking steal.
That's what the media was saying too. They're like, $5,000 each, lifetime bans from the Gabba. We're like, no, they just make that shit up. It's crazy. That's the first time that we've ever been exposed to that. Like just people just making random shit up about you and everyone believing it. It's like, what do you fucking mean? That didn't happen.
I think like the coin car video came out around the same time. So like we were on the news for AFL, and then the 7 News or someone picked up the coin car. So like it was weird. It all comes at once, when
it rains it pours.
Very interesting.
Yeah, brilliant. And is the coin car a bit of a fuck around? Do you guys still have it?
Yeah, it's here. It's in the car.
Oh, it's in the car park.
Yeah,
fuck yeah.
After,
brilliant. I'm keen to check that one out.
It's so like, I'm so over it.
Yeah, I can imagine, because like at the start it's good, and it's a good way of like promoting your shit around and whatnot, but then like there must be some shit situations.
We've bought a sign that we put on top of it. I don't always have it on there, but like it's constant phones on the car, so like if you have the lights picking your nose, it's just like you just
if Michael wants to
relax, like you just think all these eyes are on you.
Yeah, if Michael wants to like pop off to the shops to get something, it's just like he's just getting stared at, so it's a bit shit. But like the coins are getting a bit rusty now, and some of them have started like flicking off, so we have to be careful now when we drive not to like spray.
Yeah. How much money's on it all up?
Like $2,000 nearly. $2,000 worth of 5-cent pieces.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Brilliant, boys. Well, I won't waste much more of your time then. Thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. And where can we find all your stuff for those that aren't already doing it? Just martyandmichael.com.
Marty and Michael on every social media platform, and Marty and Michael Fully Actual for the podcast.
And if you want to go to our website, universityofmichael.com.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
See all that most fucked shit.
Yeah, that's where.
Yeah, no, that sounds like it's the good stuff there. So definitely anybody listening or watching that has been checking out their stuff, definitely jump on the site. And if you haven't at all, mate, we'll be sharing fucking everything. So you can check that all out on our page, their page, and get it in ya.
Legend, Connor. Thanks for having us on, man. Appreciate it.
All good. It was a pleasure.
Awesome.
Thanks, boys. Well, this episode of the After Party podcast was brought to you by the Lad Collective. Now, boys, this is my good mate's company. I've grown up with him. The two brothers, actually, they're from Sherwood, and basically they've tried to make sheets good for blokes again, get them sorted in the bedroom. So basically what they've got is they've got sheets with bottom left, bottom right, top left, top right tags that you rip under, magnetic pillowcases, zip it up and everything like that. And they basically want you to get your sheet together. So these boys are definitely going to hook you up. What's your fellas' sheet situation like at home?
Yeah, mine's...
I don't have any.
Mine's so...
You don't have any?
Oh, not at the moment.
Oh, mate. Well, this is going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I've got... Yeah, the sheets, the end's always bloody... The what do you call it? The elastic shit always comes off on my sides. On on where my head is. So I'm always half my body's always lying on the gross mattress.
Fucking
part.
mattress that you've pissed on 30 times.
Well, that he's pissed on like 30 times.
Yeah, that's happened a lot.
Yeah, mate. Well, those troubles are no more. So you'll be able to jump on theladcollective.com or the Lad Collective on Instagram. Go check it out and grab yourself some sheets.
Legend, thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you.